towing is inherently more dangerous than not towing. In today's video, I want to examine another YouTube video that was put together of a bunch of RV accidents. And I want to examine that because the premise of this is that there was too much trailer for these trucks. And I want to dispute that in most of these accidents. Let's hop inside the trailer. I wanted to record this video response to this video that's titled Towing Large RV Trailers. Now, it's a great title. It's something that I would definitely do. I think that's a great title that, hey, we need more videos helping people tow large RV trailers. But what this fella does is he creates some, what I call, logical fallacies. And the one that I think that this gentleman is accused of, or I'm accusing this gentleman of, is the straw man fallacy. Now, straw man fallacy, all that means is you're trying to make an argument or win an argument, and what you do is you stuff up literally a straw man, somebody that can't fight back, and you push it over. You fight nothing but a straw man in your logic, and you feel like you've won something or proven a point. I'm going to prove to you in this video that what he did was exactly that. He disproved his own premise by the examples that he chose. Let's dig in. Good title, Towing Long RV Trailers with Undersized Tow Vehicles. Alright, this first one, oh yeah, he's losing it. Let's see if we can go back. What was that? Do you guys see what that is? Now his text is kind of obscuring it just a little bit. But what that is, that looks like a Ford Excursion to me. Let's see if we can see a little bit more whenever the text goes away. Oh yeah, definitely a Ford Excursion. Really sad accident. I hate that he lost control like that. Alright. Let's talk about this just a little bit. This is a Ford Excursion, for sure. This is a Ford Excursion. This trailer is about 28 feet long. I would consider that hardly an undersized tow vehicle. It's essentially an F3 or an F250 with a full-size SUV body on it. It's a massively popular SUV for towing travel trailers. Simply because they don't make SUVs like that. He could not have chosen a better SUV to tow this trailer with. They came with either the Expedition came with either a V8, 5.4, it's a little underpowered for that big of a chassis, a V10 gasoline engine, which was excellent. I owned one of those. Or they came with a diesel, depending on the year, either a 7.3 or a 6.0 liter Power Stroke diesel. Hardly what we would call undersized for this example. Alright, so we've got a complete loss of control. The video doesn't start until the sway event starts. So we don't get to see anything leading up to the sway event. There can be a massive number of reasons, perfectly legitimate reasons, that a sway event could happen that has absolutely nothing to do with the truck or the trailer itself. It could easily have been a deer running out in front of the vehicle and the driver's trying to swerve. That is a driver error, not a tow vehicle error or a trailer error. It could have been, who knows, a child was laid in the middle of the street and they swerved around it. We don't know because the video starts at the sway event. That's what I mean, that it is a straw man argument. You cannot make an argument with a logical fallacy and be taken seriously. This particular video has 353,000 views. A lot of people have seen this video and probably agree with the premise. This video proves beyond all shadow of doubt that there is no way that any truck should be towing a trailer over 20 feet. No truck should ever tow a trailer under 25 feet. This video is doing a disservice to the RV community. So we have a loss of control of what appears to be about a 25-foot travel trailer that's older. It's an older style travel trailer. It's a vintage style travel trailer. This is being pulled by what appears to be an F-150. So that does appear to be a Super Crew F-150. Ah, the cab held up amazing. Look at that. No crush. Excellent. Alright, so what are we looking at here, guys? We're looking at an F-150 towing an older, vintage style, 25-foot-ish travel trailer. Now listen, these older trailers, people need to understand, they are actually pretty inherently stable. They're pretty solid designs. They have low center of gravity. If you ever look at an older trailer, they're actually lower to the ground than a lot of the newer trailers. The body kind of comes around the wheels instead of riding on top of the wheels. They have a lower CG. They're usually a lot shorter overall, a foot or two shorter even than a newer travel trailer. These elements kind of give them a stability that a lot of new trailers don't have. So I'm not looking at this as being a badly designed trailer per se. And I don't look at this truck as being overloaded per se. I don't see a lot of firewood or anything like that flying out of the bed. What's going on here? Again, going back to my former rant, we don't really know. We kind of come in as the sway event's starting. Was it a tire blowout? We don't know. This trailer does not have a slide. It's a good, well-designed trailer. It does have some vintageness to it. What does that mean? Could a leaf spring have broken? Could a hanger have broken? 100 different reasons that this trailer could have swayed. As far as my initial observation, the truck looks like it could absolutely handle it. And having owned F-150s, I know what they're capable of. I towed a trailer very similar to this. Thousands of miles with my F-150. Very stable, no sway events. Very good tow vehicle and trailer combination whenever set up properly. What happened here? I'm not sure. But I can tell you that this truck is not mismatched to this trailer. I'm not even sure this trailer is over 30 feet. All right, we have a Ford Super Duty F250 or F350 single rear wheel. We get to see the whole sway event. That's great. Just completely loses control. Couple things. This is a Super Duty truck. This Super Duty is probably rated at minimum to tow 10,000 pounds. At minimum. It's probably closer to 13 or 14 or 15,000 pounds. It's a little bit older, so I may be off on my number just a little bit, but I know for a fact, because I've looked at those year Super Duties, that the minimum tow rating is 10,000 pounds on those trucks. And if that's a gas truck, it's probably got close to 3,000 pounds of payload. Very appropriate truck for this trailer. I mean, this truck could easily tow my 36-footer with stability and confidence. So I don't know what point he's trying to prove, including this video under this premise. This is a Super Duty truck. This is the truck that we see towing 45-foot fifth wheels around. That's what you usually see hitched to the back of a Super Duty, is these giant fifth wheels and extremely large travel trailers being pulled by Super Duties all day, every single day. Now, what looks to be the issue here? A couple things that I see kind of right off the bat. Let me scrub back to it if I can get back there. We have no way of knowing what the speed is that this truck is traveling at. But just anecdotally, kind of looking at the at the speed of the stripes, probably somewhere around 70 miles an hour, if I had to guess. Not a crazy speed, but well above my personal speed limit. Now, this picture, you can tell we have some lens distortion. All right. But even with the fisheye lens, you can see that this trailer is not in excess of 30 feet. It is not a 33-footer or a 34-footer or a 36 or a 38-footer or a 40-footer. I would guess, just looking at this floor plan, this has a couch as soon as you walk in the door. on the back of the trailer. So there is a couch on the back, is what it looks like. Could be a rear kitchen, but more than likely with this little window over here on this side, that's a couch. It's kind of a rear living arrangement. It's got a couch back here. That window is similar to this. That's on the side of the trailer. But do you guys see anything wrong with what's going on here? Can you guys see anything wrong with how this trailer is loaded? Now remember, this is a Super Duty truck that people put 13,000 pound fifth wheels on all day long, every single day in the United States of America. And Canada, by the way. Here's what I see wrong. I see excessive speed getting up there. He's passing about 70. I see a lot of weight hanging right back here off the back of this trailer. My hypothesis is that the natural push-pull from passing vehicles, in this case, he's the passing vehicle on the truck, started an oscillation event or sway event. And it was exaggerated because the trailer tongue was super light because there was a heavy load on the back of the trailer. These are 2 propane tanks. That's probably 100 pounds together between those two. There's a box of tools, which could be anywhere from 30 pounds to 250 pounds. We don't know what's inside that box. And then we have what can only be, it looks like a cooler to me. I'm not 100% sure, but I would venture to say that there is an easy 300 to 500 pounds sitting on this back tray right now. 300 to 500 pounds, easy. And on this short of a trailer, that's enough to unload enough tongue weight to make the trailer unstable at speed. I see this a lot with heavy-duty trucks where people say, it can pull anything. Don't worry about load. Just drop it on the ball and go. I see this all the time. I see trailers swaying down the road, hitched to Super Duty trucks, heavy-duty trucks, not just Fords. I see it all the time. All the time. Really a sad situation. What do you do if you get caught in this situation where you're towing a trailer and you are losing control? This driver did not touch his brakes in the tow vehicle. That's actually a good thing. I'm going to just say it right now. If you get into a sway event, don't slam on your brakes. The reason that the vehicles are swaying is because they're actually traveling at 2 different speeds. The travel trailer is going faster than the truck. And whenever that happens, the excess speed has to go somewhere, so it starts the sway event. That's what happens whenever they get into a situation like this. I'm not going to say empirically every single time a sway event happens is because the trailer's traveling faster than the truck. But most of the time that's what's going on. So what do you do in this situation? Again, this is Jeremiah Hughes. This is just me based on my experience and my study. I implore you to talk to a professional. Talk to somebody else, but this is what I do. I will reach down onto my brake controller and I will activate the trailer brakes and try to slow the trailer down. Almost every single time that will resolve the situation for you. Again, this is not legal advice. This is practical advice based on what I do. This is what I do. Do your own research and come to your own conclusion. But if you're about to go careening down the road doing a barrel roll, if that's the last thing you got, reach down there and grab that brake controller. Manually activate the trailer brakes. Manually activate the trailer brakes. And don't touch your tow vehicle's brakes. Slow that trailer down and the sway event will probably resolve itself. But I want y'all to see that even though this is a heavy duty truck, that little bitty trailer threw it around like it was nothing. The myth that a truck can manhandle a trailer is a myth. If you put enough forces on a 3,000-pound trailer, it can do tremendous, it can impart tremendous leverage on another tow vehicle. You saw it right there. 25-foot travel trailer probably doesn't weigh 5,000 pounds loaded. This truck, probably sitting empty, weighs close to 7,500 to 8,000 pounds. It meets all the criteria, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. You should have a truck that weighs more than the trailer. That's what the old I used to hear all the time. Your truck should outweigh your trailer. This trailer did not outweigh that truck, and that truck is sitting in the median, that truck is sitting in the ditch, and the travel trailer is stacked up into pieces, total, destroyed. We're very fortunate nobody died. Very fortunate nobody died. Immediately, we roll into the next video clip, and what we see here is a rear living travel trailer. Now this one actually kind of surprises me just a little bit. The reason it surprises me is because rear living travel trailers tend to be inherently stable. I'm a little concerned about this sway vent. I wish we could have seen it start. What actually happened. So this guy's completely lost control of this trailer. Trailer rolls up. Trailer rolls. I hope somebody didn't die in that event. It rolls through the van. That was really sad to see. But I want you to see that this is an inherently stable trailer. The reason is because they have a lot of tongue weight. These vehicles these rear living travel trailers don't have a lot in the back of them. So they tend to be tongue heavy, the tongue weight bearing down on the back of the trailer or on the back of the tow vehicle. Now remember, the premise of this video is that these short wheelbase vehicles are too short for these trailers. Let me try to get back to what... Alright guys, so there's the tow vehicle. This is a full-size van. This appears to be a passenger van. I'm not sure. I think it's a GM, either a GM van, full-size van of some sort. These have a minimum of a 10,000 pound rating, tow rating. They also have a tremendously high payload capacity. What happened here? We're not really sure. We can see that this is not an undersized tow vehicle. This is a heavy-duty van. 3,500, 2,500. You can tell that it's not a 1,500 because 1,500 sit a little bit lower than their heavy-duty counterparts. This is a heavy-duty van. Why did it lose control? Don't really know. Not really sure. Why? Why is this wreck in the video? He's trying to prove a point that long trailers shouldn't be towed by short wheelbase vehicles. This is a 15-passenger van. This is long. It's about as long as they get. I don't know why this rig swayed and lost control. I'm not sure. We got some hypothesis I'm going to put at the end. It's really sad. That tongue got pushed into the van. That was a bad wreck. Alright, so I think that I've seen enough to see what happened here. These little cars, whenever you're towing a travel trailer, have a tremendous push effect. I would rather be passed by a I would rather be passed by a tractor trailer most of the time than I would a small SUV or a minivan. The push off of a minivan is so sudden and quick. And listen, if you drive minivans, you pass us doing 85, 90 miles an hour, and I say us that are towing travel trailers, listen, you are pushing us hard. You're pushing us harder than semi-trucks. The reason is the semi-trucks tend to kick the wind over top. Minivans tend to kick it out the side. That's why the push is so hard from those little cars. And what happened here is the best way to handle that sudden jarring push from a speeding car like this. You can tell he's moving at a good clip past him. Yep, there's the push. You can see it. The driver tries to fight it. I would almost guarantee you this was a newer driver, because that's a totally normal experience, towing a travel trailer. Is to be passed by a vehicle and you feel a sudden push. Keep your steering wheel going straight, guys. You don't have to correct every little movement that happens back there with the trailer. This looks like a noob newer person or somebody who got startled at this sudden push, and it can happen to the best of us, guys. So listen, whenever you're towing, whenever you are towing your travel trailer, be focused. Don't be eating burgers and French fries. Don't be distracted at all. Stay focused, because if your concentration goes away for just a moment, and you get that sudden push from a passing car like a minivan or maybe an older truck, older semis, they throw a lot of air too. The newer semis are easy to get past, and you feel that sudden push, and you have to get yourself back on track and looking forward, and all of a sudden you're starting to correct, and you're doing this little number and you're trying to correct where all you really needed to do was hold the line. The truck and the trailer will sort themselves out, but this guy started really sawing on the steering wheel. A little quick grab of the trailer brake controller would have fixed that too. I mean, he's in 2 lanes now, and there's the flip. All right, guys. That is a Ford Expedition. And that's the shorter one. That's a standard Ford Expedition. Is that an inherently unsafe vehicle to be in? It looks like that front wheel, just by the looks of it, might have broke the ball joint. Fords are pretty bad about breaking ball joints this model year. And that front tire looks like it's, just the pressure of it going sideways has pushed that wheel up into the wheel well. That could be a factor too. We'll just have to see. I want y'all to read the crawl that he puts on here. This is not an undersized vehicle for this trailer. I'm also going to say that. It is not. Appears to be a bunkhouse trailer around 20 feet long. It's pretty low to the ground. The trailer has good stability built into it, apparently. It's being towed by a Ford Expedition. And a little scroll comes across that says, lightweight SUVs, pickups, SUVs, and other short wheelbase vehicles were never intended to tow long, e.g. over 30 feet. Is that true? Were lightweight pickups, SUVs, and other short wheelbase vehicles not designed to tow long over 30 feet? Well, I did some checking on that, and turns out I was not able to find any empirical evidence to state that. I checked both the Ford and the Chevy trailer towing guides and found nothing in there that talks about wheelbase versus length. Now, I found some old calculators on the internet that calculate what your wheelbase should be for your certain length of tow vehicle, or what your tow vehicle wheelbase should be for travel trailer. But they weren't from sources that I would call authoritative. They were calculators. They were guesses. So I checked these official guides from Ford and Chevy, the guys that actually sell the trucks and engineer them and put their money behind them and liability behind them and things like that. Bad handling trucks and trailers can happen in any class of vehicle, from compact to full size to heavy duty to light duty to semi trucks. Bad combinations happen all the time. Now, he does say something that's true right here in the scroll. He says RV trailers, overloading, poorly distributed loads, too much speed, side loading winds, and other air turbulence all contribute to a loss of control. I agree with everything he just said. And that applies to any trailer and truck combination, all the way down from smart cars towing little bitty utility trailers all the way up to heavy duty semi trucks that are pulling flatbed trailers that aren't loaded correctly. We see stuff like that all the time in America. So he does say it's true. Too much speed, side loading winds, other air turbulence, all can contribute to a loss of control, and that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Did he prove anything here? What did he prove? He proved that 5 trailers and trucks wrecked. That's all he proved. He used examples of at least 3 heavy-duty trucks and SUVs and vans to prove the point. He used 3 heavy-duty vehicles to prove a point that half-ton vehicles is really what he's trying to say, should not be towing trailers over 30 feet. Is he trying to say that if they wreck with heavy-duty trucks, that we should never tow with a half-ton truck? Is that what we're trying to say here? I want to give you an anecdote for a few minutes. I've spent 25 years as a commuter. In my 25 years as a commuter, I'm on the road anywhere from 70 to 80 miles per day, 5 days a week at minimum. I usually spend between 30 and 50,000 miles behind the wheel every single year. I have seen hundreds of accidents that I've had to go around that involve travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, semi-trucks, all kind of towed vehicles that have had accidents. Most of them have been of the heavy-duty variety, meaning that they were either a 3/4 ton, a 1 ton, or a semi-truck. Does that mean that I should make the conclusion that heavy-duty trucks cause accidents? No, I should not. That is anecdotal and is not positive or contributing anything. Most trucks that are out there towing, people get a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton truck, and they get out there and they start driving and towing these campers. Or all semi trucks that wreck are, guess what? Semi trucks. They're all heavy duties, every single one of them. So what are the real causes that have caused these vehicles to lose control? I want to give you 4 reasons that I think were the main culprits. 2 of them are the main ones, I think, but I think there's really 4. Number 1 is overconfidence of the driver. I'm going to use a term that they use in aviation, and that's called get there-itis. If you're towing a travel trailer or a fifth wheel or pop-up, you're usually going on vacation, and you can get there-itis, which leads you to push the truck and the trailer to speeds that they should not be traveling at. Listen, every one of us are going to have a different personal comfort level with towing. The more experience you have, the more miles you've put down, you're going to be more comfortable traveling at different speeds. But you need to put yourself into a personal speed limit for your truck and trailer. And if you're going to start towing a new truck with a new truck and a new trailer, I would set a lower speed and test it slowly until you find the right optimum speed for your truck and your trailer. All right? I have a personal speed limit of 62 miles an hour that I rarely exceed, except for science. I'm happy at 62 miles an hour. This trailer is happy at 62 miles an hour. My truck is really happy at 62 miles an hour. You'll find me in the slow lane at 62 miles an hour most of the time. I'm over there with the slower semi-trucks, and we're just chilling out in the slow lane, taking our time, trying not to suffer from get there-itis. Get there-itis pushes people beyond their capabilities, and get there-itis is what causes planes to crash. People push their limits and fly into weather that they should not be doing. The same thing happens, I think, to people who tow recreational vehicles. We get there-itis, and we got to have that destination that we got to check off and get there as fast as we can. Get there-itis can wreck you. Don't succumb to get there-itis. Tell the people that you're traveling with, if you've got people that are in the truck with you, that we are traveling at a slower speed. Just set that expectation clearly. We're going to be traveling about 60 to 62 miles per hour. It's going to take us XYZ long, and then add a couple hours to it for stops. All right? I also want to say that an overconfidence is someone who is overconfident in his equipment, his or her equipment, meaning that they're not checking things such as the tire PSI. They're not inspecting their equipment for wear and replacing items that are worn out appropriately, like tires and brakes and that sort of thing. They're not checking for loose lug nuts to make sure that the lug nuts are properly torqued. They're not checking their brakes to make sure that their brakes are working correctly or their brake controller is working correctly. The second thing that I think causes accidents like these is improper loading of the trailer. In other words, you've got too much weight in the back, or you've got too much weight in the front, overloading the tow vehicle. You need to have a balanced trailer. What you need is about 10 to 11%, 10 to 12, somewhere in that neighborhood in the USA. This trailer has 14% tongue weight. It is inherently stable because of it. The more tongue weight that you have in balance in that range, that it's really a 10 to like 15% range for a travel trailer, it's a very stable tow at that range. The third thing, a loss of traction of the front wheels. The main reason for this is because we have a weight distribution hitch issue, a load issue, where there's too much tongue weight on the ball and not enough of it's being returned to the front wheel. You want to get your front weight on, you want to get the right weight back to the front wheels so that you can actually steer the truck. All right? And that leads me to number 4, which is an improperly matched and adjusted weight distribution hitch. Weight distribution hitches must be matched properly to the trailer, to the truck, and to the tongue weight, especially the tongue weight. You must have that dialed in correctly. They must be adjusted and they must be adjusted properly, and the goal is to restore the correct amount of weight to the front tires. One of the best ways that you can get your adjustment for your weight distribution hitch really dialed in is to purchase one of these. This is called a Sherline scale. This scale is specifically designed for travel trailers and fifth wheel campers so that you can know exactly how much tongue weight you have pressing down on this trailer. It comes with this little attachment here so that it can go up inside of the coupler if you want to put it up inside the coupler and weigh it that way, or you can weigh it under the tongue jack. Every person who owns an RV, I think, should invest in this little $150 Sherline scale. This scale can save your life because you won't be guessing at how much tongue weight you have. I've seen people who thought that they had 1,000 pounds of tongue weight or less, end up having 1,200 pounds of tongue weight because of how their trailer was loaded. This Sherline scale can help you dial in your weight distribution hitch so that you know how much your truck weighs and how much your trailer weighs. I think that the most important thing for you to know about your trailer and truck combination is how much they weigh. That's really what you can control. Don't guess at your weight distribution hitch. Don't guess at how much, if it's properly sized to your trailer. Get a tongue scale and check your weight of your trailer periodically and know exactly how much your trailer tongue weighs. Take your truck and trailer to the scale and know exactly how much your truck and trailer weigh. Know if you're actually overloaded. Know if you've actually got a problem or not. And don't just assume that you're good to go. Check the weights, my friends. Check the weights. Know exactly what you're dealing with and drive sensibly, my friends. If you're interested in purchasing this scale, I'll have an Amazon affiliate link in the description at the top. They make a 1,000 pound gauge, a 2,000 pound gauge, and a 5,000 pound gauge. You'd use the 1,000 pound gauge for your lighter weight trailers. The 2,000 pound gauge is what I recommend for everybody who owns a travel trailer. And the 5,000 pound gauge is really designed for those with fifth wheels. What's the other thing called? The gooseneck hitch. If you got a gooseneck hitch, get one of those as well. Know your weights, guys. Don't just guess. Don't just guess. Know your weights. I hope y'all got something out of that today. It's an interesting video to make. It's no disrespect to Mr. Brad Lewis or anything like that who made that video. I know that he's just trying to help people be aware of what they're towing and tow well. And I want the exact same thing for you. But it's not just trailer length, guys. Go out there, know your weights, and know the capabilities of your truck. Hope y'all have a good day.